Welcome to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Dave Riley, and I am joined today by Donna Coppola and Adriana Wallic, and we're here to talk about the 8th annual My Brother's Table Founders Celebration happening on Wednesday, March 18th, 2020 from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Congregation Sharat Hayim at 55 Atlantic Ave in Swampscott. Thanks for joining me today, guys.
Thank you for having us.
So, first off, what is My Brother's Table? What sort of stuff do they offer to the community?
My Brother's Table has been here in our community, the Lynn community, since 1982. It was founded then by some people who wanted to make sure that our community had a place for people to go who were in need of meals. Their mission starts with really hospitality. They want to make everybody feel comfortable coming there. They serve meals at lunch and dinner, Monday through Friday, as well as on the weekend, there's a dinner meal, both of those days.
So, when it was founded, what mission did the founders have in mind?
Well, the founders really had the mission that if people could come there and would be very comfortable, be greeted, be accepted, that there's no shaming in being in need of a meal. Sometimes it's not just people who are homeless, but there are families that My Brother's Table serves that are just don't have the financial means to meet their bills. There's many of the people that come there are working people, but trying to meet their bills with the cost of rent now is a problem. So it's there for them to be accepted, get a hug if they need a hug. Some people maybe financially are not in a bad spot, but are very lonely and don't want to eat by themselves in a room, in a rooming house, and come out there just for the social part of it too.
And unfortunately, there is still much of a stigma kind of attached to people that are down on luck and whatnot, so getting people to come down is, I'm sure, a little bit of a problem, even if they absolutely need help.
You're right.
And they don't want to be seen as getting it.
Exactly. Their greeters there. There's a very small paid staff. Most of the people that work there are volunteers, especially when it's come serving time for the meals. And everybody knows that it starts with a prayer. The volunteers do a prayer and are reminded that some people here just need a little conversation, a little encouragement, that they are just people a little down on their luck or a little lonesome.
So Adriana, you actually took part in the teen parent program there, and from there you ended up volunteering at the table. If you could talk a little bit about that.
So we do once a year, we volunteer at My Brother's Table. It'll be during a half day of school. We will all meet there and we will help prepare the food for the night. I would love to stay longer. It's an amazing opportunity to help and prepare the food for the people that helped us in return.
And the Teen Parent Program, what is that exactly?
Well, the Teen Parent Program is actually a program at Joy Child Care Center. And I've been working there as a case manager for that program for 23 years. And how we started is some of my moms would run out of formula for their babies. And so I made a connection with the table, and they were able to help us out with formula. And over time, they realized that a lot of teen parents, if they're not living at home and their families aren't eligible for food stamps, then they really are at a shortage of food. And so to make it easier, we made this partnership, My Brother's Table and the Teen Parent Program, where they get a meal kit every Wednesday, and it includes a meat, a starch, vegetables, fruit, and a snack, obviously. And they also include a recipe of how to make that meal that week. Some meals are very easy and you can figure them out, but sometimes if a meal gets put together and it's a difficult meal, like, what are we going to do with that? The table will run off recipes for the teen moms. So they have an opportunity to start by learning to cook, as well as being able to bring food home. Being a teen parent can be difficult, and and it can be difficult for the family. Not only do they already have a child, but now they're bringing in a baby into the mix. So this helps the main family, and it helps the teen parent.
So to get to the event itself, the Founders Celebration, 8 years ago they started this. So why did My Brother's Table want to honor the founders and also people within the community, which we do got to say, Donna's actually one of the honorees this time around, and I think I could speak for a lot of people when I say it's well-deserved. You do a lot.
Thank you. The more important is the reason for the Founders Celebration. The table accepts no government assistance or grants. It's all private funding and
Which is something
fundraising.
I don't think a lot of people actually even realize.
Exactly. I think most nonprofits, and they are a nonprofit, but most nonprofits accept funding. And the reason the founders did not want to accept funding is they wanted people to be able to come in if they're in need of a meal and not have to fill out a form and give a reason why they were in need of a meal. Because like I said, it could be somebody who really didn't need a free meal, but is lonesome and needs company. So to make it run smoothly and people feel like they can come there and they don't have to, say what their income is or why they're down on hard times. And there's a lot of fundraising that goes on to try to keep this in operation. And a lot of groups also donate a lot of food to the place also. But it takes the electricity, the rent, everything else takes money to pay for it, to keep it open and running. And they're open 365 days a year. It's very rarely that they're not open, even through storms and things like that, they're still open.
So it's definitely a great thing to have this, just because the no strings attached sort of thing is huge. Because you're right, a lot of people, they don't want to mention why.
Right.
So this event is huge to help fundraise. So only have maybe like 2 minutes left.
Okay.
So if people come to the event, what should they expect?
They're going to expect to have a nice time. They're going to have good company there. There's going to be great food. They're going to be able to sample food from, all different kinds of foods at little small food stations, and there'll be a meal provided. And it's just a wonderful event. But for people who want to support the table and aren't able to come and volunteer, this is a time that if you can open your checkbook, your wallet, and really buy a ticket to this event, and let this program go on for, it was 1982, so it's a lot of years that it's been going on, and the need is just as great today, especially before. I think it was for people who were kind of really down and out, but now it's a lot of families that we never expected we would see families coming, and they get to go to the front of the line. That's how they're treated when they get to the table, all families with children, right to the front of the line. And so this is the time that if you can help My Brother's Table, please, please buy a ticket to this event and come, and you'll have a good time. And I'll be at the front, I'll greet you, and just thank you for, doing the best that you can. This is a wonderful, wonderful. If you haven't been down to the table and you would like to volunteer, you have time, please come down and volunteer.
And I'm sure Adriana can speak to this too, but I mean, years ago I volunteered, and you can see the difference that it makes to people on their face as they come through. Some of them are just so incredibly grateful.
Yeah.
And it definitely makes you feel good too, helping out somebody. Just volunteering in general is a great thing. So if you're able to volunteer, definitely go down. But if you can, definitely come out to this event, the 8th Annual My Brother's Table Founders Celebration. That's happening Wednesday, March 18th, 2020, from 6:30 to 8:30 at Congregation Sharat Hayam, 55 Atlantic Ave in Swampscott. And for ticket information, for more information, the info has been flashing at the bottom of the screen throughout the episode. So that is it for this edition of the Lynn Lowdown. Thanks for watching. Watch full episodes of the LCTV News Monday through Saturday at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on our public access channel, or watch anytime by visiting lyntv.org and clicking Video on Demand.